Hi everyone, just wanted to share a little bit of information from week 4 and talk a little bit about the quiz. So hopefully everyone is enjoying the beginning of week 5. It's our downhill slide into the end of the course. Hopefully for those that are sports folks like myself, hopefully enjoyed the game. I thought that was probably one of the better Super Bowl games that I've watched. So congrats to the Philadelphia Eagles. I thought I'm always happy to see anybody beat the New England Patriots. So I thought it was a great game. Just want to talk a little bit before I get into the quiz, talk a little bit about the discussion board. So meaningful use. When we talk about meaningful use, that what the meaningful use regulations are, they are and all of those, the sheet that we found in the discussion board and all of the other things that are related, they're secondary to an act that was it was called the High Tech Act. High Tech Act came about many years ago when it was a time when there was a big push to make a transition to electronic health records. And the government came out and said, okay, we're going to give everyone money, and this is in the textbook, but we're going to give providers money, physician practices, hospitals. We're going to give you an incentive payment to help pay for your electronic health record. So they gave sizable sums of money to physician practices, to hospitals, to help pay for the electronic health record. But in return, they had to meet certain criteria over time. And one of those criteria were the meaningful use criteria. The meaningful use criteria that you saw, stage 3, there are different stages they had to get to. Stage 3 is what you saw in the classroom and what we commented on in the discussion board. So what's interesting is that over time they found the meaningful use criteria to be less helpful to physician practices, and they've actually morphed that into, and I've mentioned this in the boards, they've morphed it into a new program called MIPS. Merit-based incentive payment system. So the MIPS program is slightly different, but still has many of these same, if not all of these um, same elements, but they're also combined with a quality system, cost reduction system. It's all it's similar but different, if that makes sense. But I just want to make sure everyone knows that meaningful use is it's not a voluntary program really. Everyone needs to be part of it, and if you're not part of it, if you're not taking part in these incentives, they actually, or if you accepted the incentive payment, which almost every hospital in the country did. So if you accepted the incentive payment and you're not meeting the different criteria as you move forward, they take part of your money out of your Medicare payments because they gave you money and you didn't meet what you should have. So they're taking that money back from you. So they take a penalty out of your Medicare payments. One other thing about the e-portfolio, I know some students have had different issues making their e-portfolio work. First, the help desk said to contact them. Then the help desk said to give the information to me and have me contact them. The help desk is willing to work with us, but hopefully most folks have gotten it to work okay. The one thing that I did hear this weekend was that if you, rather than clicking the link in the tutorial page, rather than clicking on it, if you copy it and paste it into your browser, that seems to work better. I'm not really sure why, but that seems to be more effective. Also, the other important thing, and actually, here, I will just go out and show you. It might be easier. The other thing that's really important about using the e-portfolio. So when you are using the e-portfolio, sorry, we'll have to. Hopefully it'll let me do it. I'm going to click on the link. It's probably won't work for me, but that's going to be quicker. Well, here, I'll just click on it. That's quicker. So we've got our ePortfolio here. Now see how this up here says harringtonj@rmu.edu? You want to make sure it says that. Now I have multiple uh, Google Mail accounts. I have my own personal one. I have my RMU one. You want to make sure that up here this says harringtonj@rmu.edu, whatever your RMU email is, because that's what you need to be hooked to. That's what will give you access to the ePortfolio template. Your own personal Gmail account will not give you access. Now, I'm not even going to try and click use template because I will bet that it won't give me access right now because I just clicked on that link. But so what you do want to do is, we'll try this again. You want to copy and paste this link, paste it in here. Ooh, we got some extra words there at the end, sorry. Copy and paste the link. Make sure you've got your Gmail account, your RMU Gmail account, and then click use template and it'll let you come in here. If I had just clicked that link, it would tell me that I was not authorized. For some reason, I don't understand what the difference is, but there's apparently some difference, they said. Just be sure if you haven't already created your templates. I know that most of you have, since it was due on Sunday. But if you have not yet created your template due to that technical issue, make sure that you do that. So let's talk about the quiz. So there are actually 2 questions specifically related to this figure out of the textbook that folks had gotten wrong. So I did take a picture of it here and throw it into our slide deck. But so the first question was the point at which marginal benefits equal marginal costs. So the answer to this question is the optimum level. And so this point right here, this A, that is our optimum level, because this is where our marginal benefits meet or equal our marginal costs. So what does that mean? Well, what that means is that benefits and costs obviously meeting at that point right here, and if we are to add additional technological interventions, additional things that would add additional cost, it's not likely in those cases that there would be a significant additional benefit to the patient that would be worth more than that actual cost. So, and this is where you can, and how do we know that? Well, it's based on this curve. So you can see this curve is going up, 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 meaning that this curve is the health benefit. So the resource inputs, so more stuff for the patient, more resources being expended, more technologies, more scans, more, etc. Resources being input going left to right on the screen. This is your health benefits, this solid line. So you can see health benefits. Things are getting better for the patient. Better, 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 up until this point right here, the optimum level. At which point, costs are still continuing to increase, right? Costs are getting higher, more resources being used, more scans, more tests, more labs, etc., etc. But at that, there is a point at which they start to kind of peak, and the benefits are not continuing. So this is our optimum level. This is where we kind of want, this is the most cost-effective point, optimum level. Now, so our answer for that particular question, the point at which the marginal benefit equals the marginal cost, is the optimum point. The next question that I wanted to address that was dealing with this is, at the flat of the curve, marginal benefits are 0. So here is the flat of the curve right here, and this is the point where there's really, as you can see, there's still, we're still kind of going up a little bit, but the benefit is not going to be significantly more based on additional costs. But here, when we get to this point, and this is what is called the flat of the curve. See how the curve flattens out here? At the flat of the curve, the additional health benefit is zero. The marginal benefit based on the additional cost is really going to be zero at that point. So this is called the flat of the curve. Marginal benefits are zero. Down here, this is the optimum point where marginal benefits really equal marginal cost. So we want to be here. We want to be providing care in this realm, not in this realm. Okay, so one other question. What is the role of an institutional review board, or IRB? And the answer is to approve and monitor research that involves human subjects. There were two other answers: establish guidelines for the method of conducting research, verify results of clinical trials, and then an all of the above. And like I said, the answer is actually that that they just approve and monitor research that involves human subjects. The IRB is focused on the protection of human subjects in research. They're not tasked with developing how researchers conduct research. They review their research method, so they'll approve it, but they're not approving it necessarily for to make sure that it is sound research. They review it and approve it to make sure that the human subjects that are part of that study are safe. So, for example, I may be, and we actually have an IRB at RMU, so I may be doing a research study on wellness in online students. And I may be asking everybody to please go out and walk every single day and walk for 20 minutes every day outside. Well, they may actually say no, that I can't ask students to do that because there are some days when it's really cold outside and I'm not sure that that student has the appropriate gear to be walking outside in the cold, etc. So there is a line that they may care or not care about the scientific soundness of my study, but what they do care about is to make sure that humans are protected in research. Now, my example was a silly one. I would not ever do that in a study. But what is important and what our textbook talks about are, say, clinical trials. So they will make sure that a subject in the clinical trial is not coerced in some way to take, say, a drug that maybe they're not sure of the efficacy of at that point. They want to make sure that they're only involving folks that want to be involved in trials, etc. So that is the role of the IRB, Institutional Review Board. So that's all I have for this week. If you have any questions moving forward, let me know. We're going to continue to be building on our final projects. So if you have questions, I know I had made some suggestions to some folks on how to tweak your aim statements. So if you have any questions on them or you want any further input, please just let me know. And I will be seeing everyone in the discussion boards. Thanks so much.